What's going on, guys? Bsab here. I just hit Legend for the first time in a while, so I thought I'd bring you guys a quick video on the best decks to climb with this season. Before we get into my recommended decks, I wanted to highlight Murloc Shaman as a potential deck to climb with. This deck gets an honorable mention just because it does really well in the lower ranks. As you can see, bronze through gold, it's holding a 56% win rate, and even up into platinum, its win rate is 53%. It does drop off pretty severely diamond through legend though, due to one, just the players being a little bit better, and then two, you get an increase in its really bad matchups, such as rogue and control warrior. So this deck can be great for skipping through those lower ranks, especially if you have star bonuses, but overall pretty good deck to climb the lower ranks with. So the first deck I recommend climbing with this season is Boat Rogue. It's a great deck holding a 52% win rate overall, and as you can see, it's got some great matchups with a lot of the classes on ladder. Its only real struggles are against charge and control warrior. So depending on your climb, if you're seeing a lot of those, maybe switch off this deck. But as you can see, all in the greens across all other decks, holds a good win rate against Beast Hunter, Bell Demon Hunter, and Nagan Demon Hunter. They're kind of like the more off-meta decks that aren't warrior. And then great matchups into Shaman, into Rogue as well. This is the main list used for Rogue. It plays pretty similarly to most other Rogue decks. Wild Power Null is your main minion that you want to try and mulligan for. The 4/5 rush, and then it decreases for every other card you add to your hand. It's great for early board control. It's got great card generation through cards like Reconnaissance and Tooth of Nefarian. Tooth of Nefarian also a great combo piece with cards like Wicked Stab that you can burst your opponent down. Overall, a great rogue deck with a high skill ceiling that can help you get legend this month. If we take a look at the tech cards, this list here is getting played a lot on ladder, where you sub one of the SI7 cards and the Blade Master for 2 peasants, which is an early game minion and also helps with a little bit of card draw. I'm also seeing this deck a lot. The Viper is being played a lot for warrior and paladin decks that are on the ladder a fair bit. The deck I played most was probably this one here with the 2 peasants. If you can hit that on turn 1, it really does help put pressure on your opponent right from the get-go, and it helps you cycle through your deck a little bit more if they don't answer it. Next up is Control Warrior, holding a 52% win rate on the ladder. The main matchups, it does well into pretty well everything aggro. It does struggle against decks that can put somewhat bigger minions on the board. So you see decks like Big Druid, Hand Buff Paladin, Boar Priest, stuff that can just put really big stats on the board. Control Warrior kind of struggles against. So you do need to have somewhat of a good skill ceiling for this one. Need to know when to pressure opponents, when to know when to be aggressive. This is the most popular deck type. Runs a lot of legendary win conditions such as Raid Boss, Kazakhstan, and Galvagar. So the list that I actually played most was this list here. It kind of runs more of like the elemental package with the Lava Gorger and the Tidal Revenant. Is the main deck list. I think this is the main deck list here. So you can see that they take out the Drake the Amalgam and the Gazaka-san. They add in the Alexstrasza and the Captain for a bit more reach when trying to burst down opponents, and then just some extra control tools like Shield Slam and Brawl. Another great deck with a high skill ceiling. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see deck guides for these individual decks. I'd be more than happy to make them for you guys. The last deck is the Fell Demon Hunter. This was actually the deck I used to hit Legend. It's got great matchups across the whole meta. Beast Hunter is your unfavored matchup, but can also be really good if you know how to play it and be really aggressive early. It does struggle against Control Warrior a little bit. But again, if you play your cards right, don't overcommit to the board too much, you can burst down warriors pretty easily. I'd say the toughest matchup is Boat Rogue. If you get put off the board early, then it's really hard to kind of get back into games. It's very hard to win that matchup from if you're behind. This is currently the most popular deck list, and is the one I used myself. It's just a bit more better teched for beating Warrior with the need for greeds and the Viper to destroy the weapon. They're both tradable cards as well, so it helps you cycle through your deck a bit quicker and just helps the deck be a bit more consistent overall in general. There are some lists that play around with the Herald of Chaos. Sometimes you add in Blade Master if you're not seeing too many warriors or paladins. And then there's others as well that have opted for Spectral Sight over the Sigil. Play around with these kind of 4 or 5 cards. Tech how you need for your climb, but overall I find that this list is the most consistent for beating the meta right now, full of kind of warriors, rogues, and paladins, all of which who run weapons, so the Viper is really important. And just to show you guys quickly, this is the deck stats from my climb to Legend. 23 and 7, 77% win rate. So it's a great deck to climb with overall. And that is it. Those are my 3 recommended decks to climb to Legend with this month. Yeah, it's great to be back making videos again, making content. Like I said, if you want to see any individual deck guides, let me know. I'd be more than happy to go over and review some games. If you want any individual guides for decks, let me know in the comments down below. Be more than happy to make that for you guys and review some games, give you guys some pointers. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.